ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहि तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहिः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। कर्तुराज्ञया प्राप्यते फलम् कर्म किं परं कर्म तज्जडम् कृतिमहो दधो पतनकारणम् फलमशाश्वतं गतिनिरोधकम् ईश्वरार्पितं नेच्छया कृतं चित्तशोधकं मुक्तिसाधकं कायवाङ्मना कार्यमुत्तमं पूजनं जप चिन्तनं क्रमात् जगत ईषधि युक्त सेवनम् अष्टमूर्तिभृत देवपूजनम् जगत ऐषधि युक्त सेवनम् अष्टमूर्तिभृत देवपूजनम्। कृति महोदधो पतन कारणम फलम अशाश्वतम गति निरोधकम। The karma that we do without knowledge will not lead us to anywhere. In fact, it will create more confusion in our life. That's why the karma is to be done with knowledge, in short. Because karma being limited in nature, the karma phala also has to be impermanent, temporary in nature, which is perishable, which will destroy in time. And of course, that karma phala will not make us happy all the time. For timing, again, our expectation will increase with reference to happiness or fulfillment. That's why what one should do, one has to act, there is no choice. Because while sitting, remember, forget about sitting, sleeping, breathing, all these actions. As long as a karta is there in me, most important aspect. As long as the karta means the sense of doership is in me, that long karma happens. You cannot say that, no, I don't want to do. Who are you? As long as I is there, that means what? You are interested to do. Maybe you are frustrated, you are fed up of. So we say very carefully that when kartuttam is there, the sense of doership is there in person, definitely that person has to do something. And this sense of doership comes because of bhoktrutva bhava, sense of enjoyership. So that means as long as you are a bhokta, bhokta means enjoyer, as long as consciously or subconsciously you are a bhokta, that long you are a karta. Make it very clear, okay? As long as you are a bhokta, that long you are a karta. When you are not able to understand Bhokta, neither you are willing to understand, but you work on not to be a Karta, it does not work at all in life. That is how common people, that is how so-called talented people, that is how so-called thinking people do to annihilate Kartutva Bhava, sense of doership. But remember, as long as the Bhoktrutvam is there, the sense of enjoyership in you, that long you are a Karta. You cannot escape from this trap. Let me share one beautiful incident. There is a beautiful sculpture. He could make a beautiful live statue. He had that sort of, magic in his hand. Give any sort of stone, whether it is marble, whether it is granite, makes no difference. But he makes that statue as alive. So people get confused whether it is a live statue or it is a statue. Is a live person or statue. That sort of magic was in his hand. As he was becoming old, of course the fear of death started haunting him. That I am going to die. How to escape from death? It's not that easy. And he knew very well that death will come once. And death never picks up wrong person. This is a beautiful concept to understand. Death never picks up wrong person. Always picks up right person at right place at right time. There are a lot of incidents, okay? That's why you can see sometimes people travel a lot to meet with an accident in certain place and certain time. And there they die. So the death has to come in right place, right time. And as usual, he said, look, if I can manage to escape from death, means whenever he comes to pick me up, suppose if he cannot, that means I am escaped. Technically, he cannot catch me. So what he did, he created many statues of him. And all were alive. Because he had that act. Now when the death time came, so death sent the messenger first, okay? Hey, go and pick up this fellow. Now is going to time is coming, go and pick up. So when messenger came, they were confused. They did not know who is the real one. Because the instruction is there, you cannot pick up wrong one. Because if you pick up wrong one, that's all. That's not acceptable, that's not allowed. They went back, they said, sorry, we are confused. Because we saw many of him. To whom we to pick up, it was a big confusion. So that's why we came back. Okay, now the death himself had to come down. He said, okay, I will come down, see what is happening. And to death's surprise, that he also got confused. What's going on? All are the best. All are alive. Whom should I pick up? Because what this fellow has done, in between all the statues, somewhere he is also standing. You understand? So now it was so confusing that whom to pick up. Okay, as usual, death thought, death you cannot escape. Said, wow, who is this person who has created this sort of statues? And went and touched one. Wow, what alive. Really, it looks, really, there is no difference between alive person and the statue. I am sure the creator himself will fail. And this person was feeling very comfortable. Wow, look, death he started praising me. You understand? Now what happens? Slowly, the bhoktrutvam, the sense of enjoyership was being provoked. Can you see this point? Now, after some time, suddenly they said, everything is good, went to another statue. Look, this statue is good. In fact, that statue is another masterpiece. But the nose of this statue is not okay. Something has gone wrong with this fellow who has created this thing. How could he make this silly mistake? In fact, that happens to the best, one of the masterpiece. And this fellow was standing opposite to many statues. He was standing opposite to that statue. Some changes, because now first the Bhoktritvam was provoked. Second step is Bhoktritvam was being challenged. The moment the sense of enjoyership is being challenged, what happens? Just observe yourself. Now suddenly says, how can you say this? This is the one of the masterpiece. And that time Lord Death said, yes. Now please come, masterpiece, okay? In fact, I don't have anything to do with the statue. I have something to do with you. Please come. What I am highlighting here is the sense of doership comes when there is sense of enjoyership. And all the time you are tired of doership. But not a single time I can say that you will be tired, you need not be tired. Not a single time you are seeing the limitation of enjoyership. Can you see this point? Only when you see the limitation of enjoyership in you, then only the doership in you will be polished. Whereas if the sense of enjoyership is predominant in you, the sense of doership will be very rough and tough, unpolished. Can you see? Can you understand this point? Like a child. Child wants to enjoy chocolate. The sense of enjoyership is very strong in child. Then what does the child do? Because the sense of enjoyership is predominant, that's why the sense of doership is very strong, very rough. I want this chocolate. Or I don't want this chocolate. Or anyway, okay? So whether I want or I don't want is completely depends upon the sense of enjoyership in me. Whereas if I see the limitations of sense of enjoyership, how same child has got 2-3 siblings, happens to be the elder one. Now the child is able to see the limitations of chocolate, enjoyership. Does not want one, definitely I need to take 2-3 because other children are there, I have only alone come. Okay, mama, either we will take 3 or let us not take. Can you see this point? Either we will take 3 or let us not take. Now what happens to that child? That the sense of enjoyership, because seeing the limitations of a sense of enjoyership, now the doership in her or him gets polished. So that means if you are rough and tough in your action, if you are aggressive in your activities, if there are jerks in your life while working, that means the sense of enjoyership is predominant in you. Can you see this point? With or without your knowledge. This is the beauty. So that's why the understanding should be to see more and more the limitation of sense of enjoyership in me. Let the doership continue. The problem with people is they do not analyze, they do not see the sense of enjoyership, but always they work on sense of doership. That's why all sort of complication happens in life. So in order to bring down, in order to polish the sense of sense of enjoyership in me, I need to bring God in my life. Without bringing Ishvara, please understand, there is a big difference between God and Ishvara. Because when you say God, mind talks that God is somewhere. Because this is English language. So God is somewhere, especially technically in Vedantic terminology, God is called efficient cause. Who has created this universe and sitting somewhere and watching us and watching our fun, okay? Whenever we make a mistake, he can punish us. How the spider has created the web out of itself and waiting outside when and how the fly will fall. The moment fly falls, how the spider comes and bam. So also God, having created this universe, created network, now what happens? Now sitting somewhere watching what you are doing it. You understand? Based on that starts punishing or rewarding you. Remember, this is called God. We don't want that God. We are tired of our uncles. We don't need another uncle in our life, okay? So the difference between Ishvara and God, there is a big gap. That's why I am personally very much concerned, especially in Indian context, I can say, any movie you see after independence, especially, any Bollywood movie, is a destruction of Vedic culture and Hinduism especially. Purposefully they have targeted to destroy. Everywhere they will bring Khuda. Hey, Khuda khodna chahiye Khuda ko. The God name is called Khuda. Khuda means this Islamic word, okay? Khuda. ये क्या बात है खुदा? Not a single movie you will find it where Ishvara or Bhagavan is being used. Not a single movie. Because what happens? They want to neutralize the thinking. It doesn't help anybody. It's a very unfortunate thing to see. Everywhere, Khuda ki kasam. I mean, I am talking in Hindi, okay? Khuda ki kasam. In fact, recently I saw one documentary done by a Swamiji where he has used Khuda. I in fact could not tolerate. I got up, then later on I said, Swamiji, what is this? Why did you use the Khuda? You understand what mistake you have made? Oh God. I said, please stop it. Now, yes, I will stop it. Please change to Ishvara. Change to Bhagavan. You cannot use Khuda, which has no value. In fact, God also has no value for us. The word God has no value. That's why we very carefully talk. So when you say Ishvara Arpitam, here use the word Ishvara. Ishvara means put three things together. What we call as technically in Vedantic language called Saguna Brahma. The Brahman with qualities. The totality with qualities. So what are the qualities? The three aspects. The three aspects, not Sattva, Raja, Tamaha, here is a little different. That we say Ishvaraha as Antaryami. Means Ishvara, that which is in everywhere. Being residing in everywhere. Pratyek Atma. Swarupaha. And same Ishvaraha as Hiranyagarbha. So when you say Hiranyagarbha, being present in the form of Prana Shakti, because of which the person is able to experience. And of course, same Ishvara as a Virat, the total name and form. Can you see this point? Put together is called Ishvara. It is not God. Please understand. It does not help in long run. That's why in Hinduism people keep changing gods. You understand? I remember one incident that happened when I was young. And of course I was being, ridiculed, criticized with my peer groups. Because they will call me, okay, now this Baba is coming, let us now find out what is happening. So there was a very sensational news, which is very unfortunate to really to happen. So there was a lady. He had 2 children. She had or she has. I don't know whether she is alive or not. I don't know. So I'm thinking, okay. She had. Let us say she had. Okay. Give any bit of doubt or she has. Okay. She had. No better languages. She had. Okay. She had 2 children because one is gone. So that's why. So she had 2 children. One was good, and second one was physically handicapped. Very unfortunate. And the eldest one was good, the elder one, and he really did well and got a good job. And after job, of course, he got married. I don't want to get into details. The marriage happened and everything. After marriage, I think few months of marriage, he became sick. So when he became sick, as usual, they prayed a lot, they did anything, and all the hospital, everything, hospital said no, gone case. Then last they came to God and tried to do all these things. Finally the fellow passed away. So when he passed away, this is the point, this lady, the mother of this man, let us say, got so angry. Whatever gods she was worshipping in her house, everything she brought with the photos and everything, dumped inside a lake, water body. And that became a sensational news. Now who to be attacked? So I am the right person to be attacked. So all my peer group and of course elderly also, they came and attacked me. Hey, look, what does the God do? This lady prayed a lot, but God did not help. Then what is the purpose of praying God? That time I said, hey, look, when did she pray God? I don't see that she has prayed any time God. She was praying, she was nourishing her desire. So God was a medium, God was just a means. She has never called God. In fact, she was always focusing on her desire. Can you see this point? She has never called God. She has never prayed God. She has never related with God. Never. Always she has related with her desire. That let my son be good. Let my family good. Let this happen. Let that happen. Now tell me, are you relating with God or are you relating with your desire? So all the life she was relating with her desire. Now when the desire is not fulfilled, got destroyed, scattered, then what happens? She just threw out her desire, object of desire. She has never thrown away the God because she has never worshipped God. Can you see this point? Look at your life. When you relate with a person, do you relate with a person or you relate with your desire? Always we relate with our desire. And in order to nourish, in order to cherish, in order to flourish our desire, okay, desire to flourish, we need some bakra. You understand? Bakra means goat. We have a bakra word, it's a very nice word. Bakra means goat. Do you know why? Sacrificial goat. So what we do before sacrificing goat, so we'll feed goat properly, decorate properly, put the garland with respect, due respect we'll carry, because don't worry, we say when the boy goes to get married in Indian context, okay, not other cases. In Indian context also we say, when the boy goes to get married in the procession, okay, we say, hey, bakra is going, sacrificial goat is going, whole life is destroyed, okay. So, in fact, the moment we see the fellow is going, as you know, groom with decoration and wow, good, bakra, good, enjoy. This is the last, okay, in your life. After that, your life is finished, okay. Anyway, joke apart. So, you cherish, in order to cherish your desire, in order to fulfill your desire, you make someone as bakra, you understand, with whom you relate. that person becomes a sacrificial goat for you. Do you understand now concept? Means in reality, you never relate with a person. Please understand. If you have related with a person, just observe in your life from your childhood till now. If you have really related with a person, I am sure there will be a growth with reference to that person. Growth has to happen. There is no choice in it. But unfortunately, you are never related with a person. Always you have related with your desire, with your thought, your thinking process. For that, you need a medium. So that fellow was a medium. And as long as that medium supports you, as long as that medium is conducive to you, that long you relate. The moment the medium fails, then what happens? You know better. So that's why what we do, we bring the God to relate. But unfortunately, religious people have destroyed us. They have made God is another uncle. So as I relate with my uncle, let me also relate with God out of here. That's why you can see all over the world, people go to God when they are failure, when there is fear. If there is no failure in life, if there is no fear in life, you think anybody will go to the God? As you know, new trick and technique in Europe. I don't want to tell the country name now. They are very clear. They have, you have to give a code, means your religious code. So whether you are paying tax and donations or not. If you have not paid donations and tax, remember, okay, they said we don't care for marriage. We can marry anywhere. We don't need you. The priest will not come even if you die or anybody dies in your family. Before a priest come, we'll ask you the code, that number. If you have that number, means you are following it because they have database. That means they can come. If you are not, that means you are not. That's why in many countries now what they do is, they don't declare themselves as, especially the Christian tax is there, religious tax, they don't declare as Christian. So because they don't declare, so code is not there. That's why priests do not come. It's a big crisis now for churches. They do not know what to do, how to handle. In fact, somebody told me very nicely, especially in UK is happening, and of course Italy started spreading all over Europe. This is UK news. One of the archbishop said, tell us how much money to gather, we'll gather it. But never ask a youngster, but to gather few youngsters for any purpose. It is almost impossible to get a few youngsters in a church or in any assembly. Almost impossible in UK. But any amount of money you want to, we can get it. Because this is the present scenario. The reason is why, this is not my job to talk. My job is to talk here because they themselves have spoiled and destroyed. That we have to relate with God. Instead of that, they taught us that you relate with another person, another object. Means indirectly, they taught us systematically that again you start relating with your uncle who is sitting somewhere above. But we never talk this language at all. Ishwararpitam nechaya krutam chitta sodhakam mukti sadhakam. Now we say, whenever you are doing something, now you are doing something first dedicated to the totality. Because of the totality. God means here the totality. Three aspects of God we discussed. The Antaryami, that is in everywhere. That is called Prana Shakti, total Prana Shakti. The energy, because of which jiva or anything experience, anybody experiences. And nama rupa, total name and form. Both stula and sukshma. First is sukshma, then comes stula. Now when we look at these three, now because of whose presence I am able to think, because of whose presence I am able to talk, because of whose presence I am able to breathe. Now let me remember, let me dedicate my activities to that. Means you are being reminded all the time that you are not different, you are not separate from the totality. So whatever you may do, remember, you are not adding anything. Because always you think you are adding something to the society. Please understand, you are not adding anything to the society. Don't have this notion, oh, I am adding something to the society. Please, it's a nuisance. Who are you to add? Because how can it be? Because logically you cannot add anything to the society. Problem is you have this mind and your, yes, when you have limited thinking, of course you are adding, no doubt in it. But in reality you never add anything to the society. So that's why don't think that you are adding, but in reality what you should need to think, look, society has given, or the totality, the creation has given me opportunity to do something. At least let me not destroy anything. Let me not create any damage. Can you see this point? Because how can you say that you are adding if the totality is known and unknown? If the totality is not the galaxy or Milky Way, thousands, millions of Milky Waves. Now how can you say that you are adding? Where did you get? To add you need to go out. Can you go out of the totality? Can totality be called without you as a totality? Can totality be called because whatever you add means minus that, can it be called as totality? It's a minimum physics. So that means it's very clear, we don't add anything. This is the notion to be removed from your mind, because this only creates more and more the sense of enjoyership in you, and the doership becomes stronger. When you do not add anything, at least let me not spoil, let me not mismatch. You understand? Spoiling means what? Mismatch, misplacing. You don't destroy anything, don't worry, okay? Neither you add nor you destroy, nothing you do. Only you misplace. You understand? In a house, have you not observed the child? Child misplaces things, changes here and there. How you go crazy? When you come and see, oh God, maybe child has tried its level best to arrange your home. Because I go crazy sometimes, to be very honest, whenever anybody touches my bookshelf. Because I know where to keep which book. Other things I don't bother, I don't know also, to be very honest. Many things I do not know what is there in the room. But very much I know which book is where. That much I know very clearly. But when I want to search that book, try to know, pick up that book is not there, missing somewhere. Then I call, hey, did you touch self? Please, if you did whatever, don't change the place. But the person was trying to help me. But in reality, what did he do? Just look at yourself. You are doing exactly the same thing in the creation. So that's why you have to be very clear. You need to do in keeping with the creation, in keeping with the situation. Can you see this point? That is called Ishwararpita. That is called the consequences of bringing the God in your life. You do not because of your sense of doership or enjoyership, but you do what the situation demands. Because when there is no sense of enjoyership in you, and if the doership is really polished, automatically you are aware of surroundings very well. and how it helps to purify, how it helps to polish yourself, how it helps to make your mind available at any given stage, we will discuss tomorrow. Please close your eyes. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.